Hi there, this is David and welcome to new RPG news. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about today, from different consoles launching, to price increases, to maybe a Final Fantasy 15 port over on Nintendo as well, in addition to a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm going to be going over all of it today, and that's totally worth a sub as you come and you join a party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your brand new hype. It helps me out a ton. So first up, we got Steam Machine launching on June the 30th, starting at $1,050. The 2TB model with the controller will be priced at $1,428. Yikes! There is a reservation sign-up thing going on right here. I've got to say this, okay. If you look at the cost of these Steam machines versus the cost of, a laptop or something, I don't really get it. Why wouldn't you just buy the laptop? You know what I'm saying? I've never, ever had any sort of issues ever having anything on Steam, not run on my computer. And that was even on my older laptop, and I don't even know how old that thing was. I'm not one to upgrade anything. To me, it has to be completely 100% broken and not working at all for me to finally bite the bullet and go out and buy something new, because I don't like updating anything. I don't like learning new technologies. I don't like learning new systems and things like that. I don't even upgrade my telephone. I don't, because it's so super annoying to me to have the computer think that it knows better than me, or to change stuff. Once I know how something works, I never want to change it again. You know what I mean? So to have to do this, it's just odd to me. Just buy the laptop. You know what I'm saying? Okay. If you have a computer, you know that you can play it with a controller too. I have this little Bluetooth controller thing right here, and I use this for everything on Steam and everything on PC, so it's pretty much just like you're playing on console. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why you would do this, and I don't know how much laptops cost. I have no idea. Or computers. Right now I'm using a desktop computer. I have no idea how much that one cost either. Ken just bought it for me. He bought it for me a couple years back, and I was pissed because my laptop was working perfectly fine. I was super pissed. He bought it for me for Christmas, and I didn't use it until that October. It literally sat in its box for 10 months, and I just never used it because I didn't want to learn the new computer. You know what I mean? I didn't want to have to transfer everything over. I didn't want to have to put everything onto a thumb drive and then load it on the thumb drive and then put it onto the thing and then, erase the thumb drive and put it back on the laptop and keep on transferring stuff over like that. I didn't want to do it. Such a freaking pain. So I don't even know what I'm talking about any longer. Literally, I've gone off on the biggest tangent about this kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't like doing upgrades. I just don't understand. For $1,400, you could buy a laptop. I'm sure you can go down to Fry's or something and buy a laptop. Even for $1,000, how much could laptops possibly cost? This is wild to me. Then we have price increases. Yikes, it's never ending. This is an Xbox Series global price increase as announced. It would $100 increase for 512GB models, a $150 increase for 1TB models. It says that this will be starting on August the 1st, and it says following a global price increase back in May, and then a United States only price increase back in October. Yikes! And then they wonder why nobody's buying Xboxes or anything else like that. It says here, the 2TB Xbox Series X will also be discontinued as well. So yeah, all this stuff is going up and up and up in price. And I know that there's some sort of memory card shortage or something. I don't know. I don't keep track of all that kind of stuff. To me, it's very much over my head. Technology, it's just over my head. But yeah, all this stuff, it just sucks. It just sucks. And say what you will about Nintendo and their Switch One price increase, but they didn't do a United States only price increase. They didn't do 3 different price increases, and they only did 1 price increase, and it was worldwide, and it was only $50, and they gave you a free game to go along with it to kind of offset that price increase as well. I don't see Xbox doing that either, and I also don't see RPGs releasing on Xbox either. Sorry to all the Xbox fanboys out there, but every time that I think about Xbox, I think about how burned I was by them and how much they pissed me off, and I still haven't forgiven them. It's been 15 years, but I hold grudges, and I still have not forgiven them. So back when the Xbox 360 came out, There was the PS3, there was the Xbox 360, and the Xbox 360 was like, hey, we're going to be the JRPG console. We're going to put JRPGs on our console. If you like JRPGs, this is the one to buy. I didn't really believe them, because I've been with PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, which was great. But then it actually started, and they did release a whole bunch of JRPGs on their console, and I ended up buying one. I bought one for Tales of Vesperia, Lost Odyssey, and Blue Dragon. But then right after that, everything else went multi-platform, and then everything else kind of got dropped off the Xbox 360, and everything started going to PlayStation 3. And then ever since then, it's just been like, no, we don't care about RPG players, and we're just kind of done. And it just pissed me off that I had to spend all that money on an Xbox for 3 games. You know what I'm saying? And then those games, Xbox wants to say that they are... Man, I'm on a tangent today. We just started news. I shouldn't be this angry this early in the morning. So Xbox wants to say that, they are doing this whole PC integration, and that's where they're putting their games and blah, 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 blah. I don't see Blue Dragon on PC. I don't see Lost Odyssey on PC. Where are they? Let's bring those over. Anyway, let's move on to our next story after I've just been on the tangent for anyway. Blue Reflection Quartet's second trailer pre-orders are now available. This is due out on July the 30th. It is a digital pre-order here in America. However, there is a physical Asian edition that you can purchase that is in English. I will share a link to that. Quartet contains 4 emotional stories in a single collection. The first, Blue Reflection, a console game which told the story of an injured former ballerina as she used her powers as a magical reflector to form bombs with others and fight off the looming threat of the world. Blue Reflection Ray is an anime that tells the story of the magical reflectors clashing with each other over their conflicting beliefs and emotions. This game tells a condensed version of the story with the major characters rendered in 3D. There's also new short stories expanding the anime story and a new prologue and epilogue that connect this entry to the other works in the series. Then there's Blue Reflection Sun, which is a mobile game. So you're really getting like 2 console games, you're getting an anime, and you're getting a mobile game kind of turned into a console game. Okay, so it's a mobile game that told the story of the students of living in a dying world as they hold into hope for the future. Sun's story has been remade as a console game using the systems of Blue to recreate the memorable battles of the original game. 24 new character events have been added alongside the main story, and the prologue and epilogue from the original release connect this entry to the other works in the series. And then there's Second Light, console game that tells the story of a group of students with no memories who find themselves in a strange world. Through their adventures, they must look deep inside their hearts, regain their memories, and discover the truth about the world that they are living in. So if you do want this physically, you can purchase it here on PlayAsia. I will include a link to this for $50, and it is in English. You have to choose the Asian version, though, not the Japanese one. If you choose the Asian one, then you can go ahead and get it in English. It says right here, the language is in Japanese as well as English. Square Enix is apparently open to a Nintendo version of Final Fantasy XV, saying that it is under consideration. So they recently had a shareholders meeting, and there was reportedly a question about the possibility of Final Fantasy XV getting a Switch release. I've got to say this, if 16 hasn't gotten a port to Switch 2 yet, I feel like 15 isn't going to get a port to Switch 1, because they said a Switch release, not a Switch 2, a Switch release. According to a rough translation, Square Enix has acknowledged the idea, claiming a Switch version, not a Switch 2, a Switch version would not be completely impossible from a technical standpoint, so it is apparently under consideration. While this latest response is believed to be about a Switch version, the company is also slowly shifting more focus towards the Swift 2. Earlier this month, it announced the Final Fantasy X and X-2 remaster, which like shadow dropped out of nowhere, which is arriving to Nintendo in July. So I feel like if they did that and they shadow dropped it, maybe they are going to do this too. I can't imagine them just putting it out like I feel like if they could have put it out on the Switch 1, they would have done it already, and they wouldn't have put out that Pocket Edition instead. They would have just like put out the regular game, you know what I mean? So it is kind of odd that they're talking about the Switch 1 here. I do feel like it is high time because everything else is on the Switch 1, you know what I mean? Or everything else is on the Switch essentially. So I just feel like it's kind of high time to put 15 and 16 over at least on the Switch 2. Onimusha Way of the Sword game overview trailer and screenshots. It says here that Capcom has released a 5-minute game overview trailer and new screenshots for the game. The footage provides a first look at Dohatsu 10, a terrifyingly fast and bloodthirsty Genma. After carving its way into the mortal realm, this winged warrior from the depths of hell locks blades with the protagonist Miyamoto Musashi in an intense boss battle. Pre-orders for Onimusha Way of the Sword are available now and include the Sealed Curse sword skin and Lion Dog charm as bonuses. This is coming out for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 2, and PC on September the 25th, and there's a demo available now for all of those platforms except Switch 2. Speaking of Musashi, whatever happened to Brave Fencer Musashi? I would have loved, you know what? That would be a great game to like HD 2D remaster. You know, they just put out Elliot and it's like action RPG and all that kind of stuff. They could totally do that for the PlayStation 1 version of Brave Fencer Musashi. That was such a fun game. It was so like, I don't know, it was just like charming and kind of like jokey, and like Musashi didn't take anything seriously. There was like a whole blue magic thing going on there. That was a fun game. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection DLC additional side story Rudy is now available alongside its Royal Monsters update. It says this dives into the origin of the Royal Felnay and his ancestors who come long before him. In this downloadable content side story, Rudy stumbles into a strange situation that unexpectedly brings him face to face with Navarro, the legendary Felnay who once saved the world in Monster Hunter Stories. This is available for $10, but if you have the Deluxe or Premium Deluxe Edition, you already have access to it. And it says another free update has been launched alongside this, which brings royal monsters to the field. This update adds a higher difficulty level to the final battle for players with completed save files, and clearing the final battle on hard mode unlocks royal monster versions of almost every creature in the entire game, including invasive monsters and calamitous elder dragons for rangers seeking an added challenge. Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Arisen details new features. Let's see what we got going on here. It says, following the June title update, this will receive an additional update in late August to improve performance across all platforms, add additional save slots, adjust the Dragon's Play condition, and increase weapon skill slots from 4 to 6. Dark Arisen features a brand new story set in the long-abandoned northern region of Norgan, while also introducing 12 challenge dungeons for Arisen to hone their skills, along with new hair and tattoo options for players to realize their vision for the Arisen and their main pawn. So it says that Dark Arisen 2 is releasing on October the 9th for $50. There is a Dark Arisen expansion that will be available separately as downloadable content if you already have the base game, but that DLC will cost $30. And then it says the Norgan fashion set Northern Attire will be available as a pre-order bonus. I cannot believe that this DLC, like maybe I'm so old-fashioned. Well, number one, I don't think the DLC should exist. But number two, I feel like DLC should be an addition. It should be like $10 more, $15 more, max 20. But if the game itself costs $50, I can't imagine spending $30 just on DLC. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's more than half the cost of the game. More than 50% cost of the game is tacked on DLC? Like, am I the only one who's crazy here? I feel like the DLC should be in proportion to the length of it, I suppose. Like, if the game itself is 50 hours and the DLC is 10 hours, then shouldn't the DLC cost $10 if the game costs $50? You know what I'm saying? I mean, not like dollar per hour, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, it's crazy that a DLC, an add-on, is costing over 50% the cost of the actual game itself. So maybe I'm out of touch, I don't know, but that's just my thing. Continuing the long tradition of RPG names that I just cannot pronounce, Arc System Works and Unite Plus announced a tactical counter timeline RPG, Quipha? In Providence's Shadow for the PS5, Switch, and PC, due out on September the 24th. Yeah, like, yikes. You guys don't know, you don't want to know how long it took me to learn just how to pronounce, like, Suikoden. And that was back in the day. I used to call it Suikoden, and now I call it Suikoden. Hell, I used to call Rydia from Final Fantasy IV, I used to call her Rydia. Like, I can't pronounce anything. How I'm ever going to pronounce this thing, what is it called again? Quipha? Quipla? Let's go into GameStop and ask the worker about this. Hey, I'm looking for this new game. Quipla? Quilipa? Yeah, Tokyo has collapsed, in a city where reality itself is eroding, grotesque entities known as aberrations roam the ruined streets. While working as a simple delivery boy, Suma Poshigami is brutally attacked by an aberration, leaving him in a fractured half-turned state where a man and monster fuse into one. He's rescued and taken into custody not by a citizen, but is lost property by Reina Hazuki. Unleash total dominance with a refreshing high-octane combat system. Master the flow of time itself as you stack and chain devastating skills to obliterate your enemies with massive satisfying combos. Predict, React, Intercept. The combat interface features a dynamic, timeline-driven gauge that exposes the exact timing and nature of incoming enemy attacks. Use this timeline to program your own skills, shatter enemy offenses, and take complete control of the battlefield. Slow down time or pause the action at any moment to analyze tactical forecasts, track cooldowns, and execute precise strategies. Can they please... what is this? What is this? Kazuma Kaneko Tsukuyomi is coming to the PC on July the 24th. It's currently already available on the Nintendo Switch. This is a tactical deck-building tower dungeon RPG, and it will be in English. Ancient myths awaken in a modern-day Babel. A tactical deck-building tower dungeon RPG from the legendary demonic artist Kazuma Kaneko. An all-new title from the demon... Why do they repeat themselves? The visionary mind behind a legacy of groundbreaking games. Okay, Tokyo. A colossal Bay Area megastructure, the Hashira has been severed from the outside world. You are a Tsukuyomi, an elite agent of a national defense organization. Your mission is to infiltrate the isolation zone, battle through a tower overrun by Eldritch Jinma, and ascend to the summit to uncover the terrifying truth. I got invited to an early access thing in LA to play this game maybe a month ago or so, back when it was released on the Nintendo, and I put out a video about that and my experience there. I was there for 3 days, actually. It was pretty cool. And I got to go to the beach. I got to meet totally tubular Jonathan, hang out with him, so that was pretty cool. And I got to play this game. And it was more fun than I thought it would be, I guess. It's like a... you climb this tower, it's a roguelike thing going on, you answer these questions, you can get upgrades by answering the questions. After each battle, you get a different card that you can put to your deck and all that kind of stuff, so it is kind of neat. The Witch's Bakery launches on August the 20th. A Paris-set cozy adventure RPG has been dated, coming up for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 1, Switch 2, and PC. There are physical editions, which I will show you. It looks like it is $35 with early purchases, including a digital cookbook. The Witch's Bakery is a 2D adventure RPG about a joyful witch who opens her bakery in modern-day Paris. She has one special power. She can see into people's hearts and heal emotions through her magic. You play as Loon, who has just arrived in the city. Each day split into 3 different phases, day, evening, and night. And daytime is when she manages her bakery, serves her clients. Evening is whenever she explores Paris, does her social bonding events, building up relationships, discovers the city's secrets, and goes inside of her friends' troubled hearts. And nighttime is whenever she rests, improves her magic, decorates her bakery, and spends time in her cozy atelier. The story progresses through the days as you earn experience, money, and fame, and meet new friends and heal their hearts. So here is the physical version of the game. It is $35. Again, it includes a digital cookbook, nothing physical that comes with it, but it does say here includes the official digital cookbook. Enshrouded launches on October the 15th for the PS5 and PC, but then in spring 2027 for the Xbox. It says the Xbox version was delayed as to not compromise on the quality of the game. This is an action RPG survival cooperative crafting game, and it says set within a sprawling voxel-based continent called Embervale. So I was learning about voxels, and apparently there's pixels, which are 2D, and voxels are 3D, because I went on and on and on, and I bitched about voxels the other day, and I was like, what are these voxels? Never heard of them, blah, blah, blah. But everybody in the comments told me. So it's kind of like, if you've ever played 3D Game Heroes, I have, and it's kind of voxel, if that makes any sense. Or maybe something like Crystal Project. I loved Crystal Project. Okay, so you are Flameborn, the last ember of hope for a dying race. Venture into a vast world, vanquish punishing bosses, build grand halls, and forge your path in this co-op survival action RPG. Endure the corrupting fog that plagues the land to seek rare treasures and frightening creatures within it, and to reclaim your kingdom's lost beauty and history. Beneath the ruins and within the shroud lies the story of magic, ruin, and redemption. Awaken the ancient flame and reclaim the hope that once illuminated the fallen world. Pokemon trading card game Pocket Expansion Everyday Wonders launches on June the 29th. A world of wonder awaits. It says the description reads, a world of wonder... I'm making fun of it, and that's what the description reads. A world of wonder awaits in the newest Pokemon trading card game Pocket Expansion, Everyday Wonders. Get ready for this expansion overflowing with cute Pokemon illustrations, including Pikachu, Piplup, Sylveon, and even more adorable friends. Okay, this is available for iOS via the App Store and Android via Google Play. Muv-Luv Tactics Kaladesh at Nighttime launches in 2027 for the PC. New game tree play. I can't talk today. Oh god, look at those boobs. Damn. Okay, the Air Legendary. This is a tactical simulation RPG devoted to pure gameplay excellence. The encroaching beta threat, the overwhelming despair it brings. Feel the visceral terror of being crushed body and mind by those boobs. At the core of this game lies all-out combat against humanity's greatest foe, the beta. As the UN Forces Squadron, I remember UN Squadron, that was a game on the SNES. My friend Carrie had that. She was the preacher's daughter. We would go over there and we would play it because she had a Super Scope 6 too. She was the only one in the neighborhood with a Super Scope 6, and we'd go over there and we'd play it. It was a lot of fun. Anyway. You stand against the vast horde of invading extraterrestrial species. On the front line, where death is always one breath away, the tension and exhilaration of piloting a tactical surface fighter awaits you. Intense combat will etch the despair and fervor unique to the Muv-Luv universe deep in your psyche. Lords of the Fallen 2 delayed to Q1 2027, no longer due out this fall. This is a Souls-like action RPG. It was originally going to be released this fall, but now Q1. It's going to be out for the PS5, Xbox, Switch 2, and PC. So, their excuse, but then the reality. Here we go. Their excuse is, we've worked closely with the gameplay feedback team, aka unpaid beta testers. Their valuable ongoing input, combined with the team's vision, has identified meaningful opportunities to further refine and strengthen the overall experience. There's the excuse. The real reason. This updated release window also strategically positions Lord of the Fallen 2 outside the highly competitive holiday period, ensuring the game receives the dedicated attention that it deserves. Yeah, because it can't actually compete amongst the really good holiday games. They need to put it out when there is no other competition, so that it might stand a chance of getting some sales, I guess? Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 welcome to West City trailer and latest details. So it says, 10 years after the last entry in the series, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 marks a bold new chapter for the franchise. The latest trailer offers a first look at both gameplay and your daily life in a brand new setting, Age 1000. Building on the legacy of the series, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 delivers an entirely new Dragon Ball experience. Players are invited to create and embody the hero they aspire to be in an unexplored world envisioned by the original creator Akira Toriyama. Yay! Blending an epic story-driven RPG with the high-octane action, the game promises an unforgettable journey through a vibrant new universe and its diverse cast of characters. Well, if this doesn't look frickin' cute, Kinseed coming to the PS5, Xbox, PS4, and Switch 1 on August the 4th. I imagine that it probably upgrades to Switch 2 or whatever. But anyway, let's see what this is about. Developed by the veterans of the Fable series, the Kinseed players plant a mystical acorn and raise it into a family tree where the choices form the branches. Players will raise a family, farm the land, run a business, and explore a vast world filled with colorful NPCs as its inhabitants age and reveal their secrets. When a character dies, control passes to their children, and the adventure continues across generations. That's kind of neat. Reminds me of like Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, or even something like Phantasy Star 3, so that's pretty neat. And in our final story that has nothing at all to do with RPGs, I just know it's a very popular game, so I know that a lot of you will probably be buying this. I don't play racing games. The last racing game that I played, I played them. But the last racing game that I put like a substantial amount of time into was probably Super Mario Kart back on the SNES whenever I played that with my brother, like in middle school or whatever. Then he got Cruisin' USA for the N64. He liked that. I didn't really like it all that much. I remember I played RC Pro-Am on the NES. That yellow car cheated, though. I hated it. And Square. Back in the day, before Final Fantasy came out, they had 3D World Runner, but then they also had Rad Racer, another racing game. And it came with these 3D glasses, and you would use the 3D glasses not only for 3D World Runner, but also for Rad Racer. And you would wear the 3D, they were like little paper glasses, and you'd put them on, and it made like this little 3D effect. Daniel always said that he could see the 3D. I never saw anything different. So anyway, don't really care about racing games, but there is a rumor, because I've heard about this, that Grand Theft Auto, the launch version is just going to be a code in the box. but there is a rumor that a disc version will launch in December in time for the holidays. This is according to a Polish video game website source called something I cannot pronounce, I'm very sorry, Graxidari. As announced yesterday, the physical edition of Grand Theft Auto 6, due out alongside the game's launch on November the 19th, contains a code in the box, not a physical disc. The release with the code will be one shot, and then the option for the disc release will follow, Graxidari said. He's also previously shared other accurate retail leaks, such as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 for the PS5, the multi-platform versions of Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, and the Switch 2 release date for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. They were the first to report back in January that Rockstar Games was not planning a physical edition version of Grand Theft Auto 6 at launch in order to prevent leaks. So this guy at least does have some sort of pedigree behind him in this leak for this racing game. So if you want it, you might want to wait until the disc version comes out physically. So yeah, just figured I'd bring this up. So anyway, that's it for the news. Hope that y'all enjoyed it, and as always, have a good day.